Welcome to Dramaville. Population, Watson. It's been really tense around here lately. I almost feel the tension. It's terrible. And here's what happened. A couple of weeks ago, a group of 7 girls who were planning to live together had their lease fall through. What had happened was their landlord called them up the night before they were to go sign their lease to tell them that the current tenants were planning on renewing their lease. And this really sucked for them. But everything kind of went downhill when some of the girls decided to make really bad decisions. What do I mean by bad decisions? There are actually a lot of them. So the first one was when 5 of the girls of the group of 7 decided to go look at a 5-person house. Now, there is a very clear problem here, which is why on earth would you ever go look at a 5-person house when you know that there's 7 people planning to live together? I honestly do not understand their thought process there. Like, maybe they all fell on their heads or something before they made this decision, but it made absolutely no sense. And then, to top it off, they decided that they actually really liked the house and were planning on signing a lease, which means kicking out 2 of the girls. So, they had a meeting to decide who they were going to kick out. One of the girls they decided to kick out, we'll call her C, actually had a backup and had previously mentioned that if there were ever problems with, having too many people or something, then she could go live with the other group and it wouldn't really be a big deal, like no bad feelings or anything like that. But the other girl they decided to kick out, we'll call her B, didn't have a backup. To top it off, she wasn't even at the meeting, so they were having this behind her back, so she couldn't even defend herself. And for some reason, they thought she was going to live with us, which we already signed her lease, so that wasn't going to be a thing that could happen. And, we love her, but you can't just make these decisions for other people. So, it wasn't, I don't even know what they were thinking. And so then, since she wasn't there, they had to go tell her that they kicked her out. So she was spending time with her boyfriend that weekend because he was visiting her, and they just knock on her door, and she answers it, and just straight up break her heart. Right there. Just told her, you're not living with us next year. Right in front of her boyfriend, so it's upsetting and humiliating. It was just really awful. And, so then they left, and apparently one of the girls who lives right next to her said that she could hear her sobbing through the wall. It was an awful situation, and then everything kind of blew up yesterday because one of the girls from the group of 5 came into the kitchen when B was sitting there eating, and she sat down across from her, and B visibly moved away from her because she can't be around them because, they kind of stabbed her in the back. She thought they were her friends, and they went and did this. Friends don't do this kind of thing to each other. And the girl goes, "Really? Really, B? You're gonna do this? Really?" So obvious. And of course, B flips, completely yells at her. She goes, "Really? How could you do this to me? It was such a bitch move," fully swearing at her and, venting out her frustrations at them finally because it had been building up over the past few days. And so the one girl storms out. B's sitting there shaking because she was so angry and also probably scared of how violently she reacted because she's not like that at all. So it was a pretty big thing for her to yell at them. So then she leaves, and our RA was actually in the kitchen at the time, and she's standing there going, "Oh my god, what just happened?" So she said that she's definitely sitting them down and talking to them because she really needs to mediate because they need to have a conversation, but it's not going to happen on their own because they're just going to end up yelling at each other. But the thing is, B really does have very valid points to make, and if she's angry at them and wants to yell at them, then, you kind of have to just let her, and they have to kind of just take it and be like, "You know what, you're right, we messed up." But May really needs to, monitor that. So we're hoping they have their little meeting some point soon because this whole situation is tearing apart the 3rd floor. It's making it very tense and hard to talk to certain people just because they're involved, and you're kind of like, I can't believe you did that. So hopefully our RA has that meeting soon and reconciles them, but to be honest, I don't think it'll ever be fixed. You do something like that and you can never take it back. I honestly can't believe they did that. So that's what's been happening here. I'm hoping that things are going well for you guys, which they probably are. And I guess I'll talk to you later. See you.
Hi again.
This is Sam, once more.
Again.
All right.